and welcome to Dungeon Call, above board's foray into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Travis Oates, and I'm your DM today, and let me introduce the players. Over on this side, we have Alexa Cappiello.
What is up?
Shea Parker.
Something's up.
Brian Spillane.
Just happy to be here.
And Jason Charles Miller.
Not happy to be here.
Oh, wow.
No, we'll fix that.
On the other side, we have Leif Gantvoort.
Not happy that Brian's here.
Dan Billet.
Happy that everyone is here with us today.
Ashleigh Morghan.
I'm not here today.
And Becca Scott.
I don't know which way is up, but I'm pretty sure I'm here.
When we last left our story, we were under the Temple of Jakar.
Some of us were.
Well, some of us were, yes. One was sitting, being impotently raging at people in the lobby. But most of you were down below in the, again, for lack of a better term, the jail portion of the temple. And you noticed that there are about 20 cells there, and each prisoner was enveloped by a dome of temporal energy, which we have found out is called a millennial cage. The field, if touched, will cause whoever touched it to age 1,000 years within seconds. However, one of the company members is immune to artificial or magical aging and has stepped into the field. The moment that she did, the prisoner within that field had snapped toward her, and he said, "In Jakar's dark earth, who are you?"
And I say, he can see me! I'm so proud of her!
Yes, I can see you. How are you surviving the field?
He can hear me! So I have a soul sword, and because of that, I won't age over the age of 18. So
I'm certainly testing the theory. You would have aged 7,000 years at this point, as you're still within the field.
Clarify, you're exactly 18 for legal reasons.
I'm exactly 18 for legal reasons. And I can't age over the age of 18. But I thought because I have this sword that I'd be able to step through this field, and I didn't in a million years think you'd be able to communicate with me.
What? I am so confused right now.
So am I. What
Can people not normally see you? Are you a ghost?
Well, no. Something happened with the dragon.
Ask him what happened here.
What should I
Can you
ask
hear
him?
through the millennial shield?
You can hear what he's saying. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear. What do you want me to ask
Ask him what happened here.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you speaking to other people?
Yes, my friends are right outside of the millennial wall. We didn't know that this
Why
would work.
can't I see them?
Quick,
We're out of
ask
phase.
him which cup he would pick. And I get out my cups and start
Oh
doing my
my
trick.
gosh.
I see it's his sister. He says he can't see you, but he can see me.
There must be some kind of interference with the Millennium Shields.
We're
Well, how about
shrouded in
you ask
shadow.
him what the big secret he needs taken out of the millennial
That seems
cages?
important.
I just wanted to let you know that he can't see you. So we walked by. We heard you talking with your other friend. What is the secret that needs to get out? What do you think might happen again?
I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I'm not going to.
But I
How
can
do I
help.
know you're not?
Stab him until he tells you.
You can't hear that, can you?
Yeah.
You what?
Exactly. So I know that you can't trust me, or you don't think you can, but I think I might be able to help whatever it is. Stop whatever you think is. I don't know what's happening, but we might be able to help. My friends. Nick, how do I get someone to trust me?
Just ask him what happened here first.
I did. He won't. He doesn't. Well, what happened here?
Step out of the field. You're freaking me out.
So I step out of the field. Oh no.
Where did she go?
Oh, bloody hell.
Did she disappear?
Yeah, get back in.
It might only work when you're in the middle of the
Yeah.
I
field
only
itself.
see you in there.
So I step back into the field.
Ah!
I think if I go too far, you won't be able to see me or hear me. So I have to stay right here, unfortunately.
So the guy next to him says, she must be using some kind of concealing magic that's being
short-circuited by the power of the millennial
Sword.
shield.
Tell him you're going to step in, but we'll listen.
I
If he
can't
wants to
step
tell us
in because then I
anything.
disappear. I have to stay right
How
here.
many of you are you?
There's, 7 down here and maybe one upstairs.
8. There's 8.
8. Including
I
me.
can count, thank you. The other guy's
Not
just looking
every-
at I'm going like,
I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I just want to know what happened here and what is the secret, because I really think we can help you. If you're afraid, if you're locked down here, what can you do?
You got to keep in mind you're talking to people who don't reveal secrets.
I understand that, but
Right.
desperate
I know,
needs
but
come-
I'm just. It's
Yeah.
kind of like you're saying, I just want you to,
That's why I asked Nick. So how can I?
help me kill a guy.
Hey, a secret for a secret. You have to earn his trust first.
Okay, a secret for a secret. I have to earn your trust first. Nick just goes like this.
This is the strangest week I've ever had.
Week? Have you only been down here for a week?
No, it started a week ago, but I haven't been down here a week. These people started showing up, talking with our leaders here in the town, trying to establish a trade route, they said. I didn't trust it. There's something familiar about them, but I couldn't place the name to the face. So, the other one says, he started doing research, you say. Started trying to figure out what the symbol on their arms were. He knew he'd seen it someplace. He deals in ancient history. Yes, I do. I did. I still do, I suppose. These people, they're far out of time. They shouldn't be here, and they shouldn't be able to function. They shouldn't have any power. They're from a dead god. God named Valis. From the age of man. Which would place them 3,000 years ago, maybe? Valis is the first god to die.
Okay, but why are you all trapped down here?
So you're all hearing this.
Right.
So you can ask questions, but they won't hear you.
But I can relay them if you have questions.
Well, they, without warning, started to attack in giant numbers. Hundreds, maybe over 1,000 of them. They also had time walkers.
They had time walkers with them.
Yes. And at least one incredibly powerful master time walker. Maybe the most powerful I've ever seen.
Was it him?
What? Good question, sister. Do you remember what this master time walker looked like?
I didn't really see him up close. I mean, keeps his face hidden under a hood.
And would any of this be that secret that you feel like if it got out would be able to help people?
Well, somehow the cult of Valis has been reborn. They're using the Blackburn.
The Blackburn.
What is Blackburn?
What is
What is Blackburn?
Blackburn singing in the dead of night?
Good thing he can't hear her.
Just let her talk.
I'm
She
able
wants to
to
be involved.
completely ignore.
She wants to be involved.
Blackburn, that's the central magic behind the god Valis, the god of decay. It's known as the Withered Watcher. He's a god under Nigellin, before Arlindis.
Is this common knowledge or is this something new?
You've never heard of this at all.
Teal would never heard of this
have I
either?
heard of this?
Roll history.
That's not bad. 19.
Nope.
Cool.
Dang.
Well, still, Nyx looks at him like, why haven't you said anything about this before? You don't know this.
I don't know literally everything. Do you know literally everything?
You
about
follow the god of knowledge.
Yeah, well, I'm learning that sometimes even the followers of Magellan
The
keep
Magellan
secrets.
people are messed up.
So,
There's a master walker magic and
To your knowledge, there have only been 3 people under Magellan, or 3 gods. One is Seret, the god of thought, who is still around. One is Arlindis, goddess of energy, and she's gone. And one is Bender, who has been under various gods at different times throughout history. Right now, he's actually under Jakar, but was under Magellan for a while.
no, we've never heard of Valis.
Valis is brand new to all of us.
Do you have a question?
Who has this? Who?
I do.
You are on the other end of this, so I'm hearing all this as
No,
well.
you only hear when she talks.
Copy.
But she's been talking a little bit.
Now, she may have talked a few times, so you're hearing something, but you're not hearing the conversation that she's hearing.
Is there anything else you want me to ask them?
we need to know what he's.
We need to
keeping
know his
secret.
secret. So,
Well,
what?
That was the secret.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The followers of the cult of Valis
yeah.
are back.
Yeah, but tell us the real secret.
A nice
What's
try.
the real secret?
That is the secret.
Can I see
Maybe
if he's
That's a
Spoken with your
pretty
sword.
big thing.
Can I see if he's withholding any other information?
Make a insight check.
Yikes. 11.
Doesn't seem to be.
Great.
Has he seen Cerise?
Yes.
That is the one thing I care about, and obviously, yeah.
Have you seen a woman? I explain what Cerise looks like.
I mean, there's been a lot of people taken back and forth, but it doesn't seem to ring a bell.
Ask where everyone else is. I know they were attacked, but, you know.
Where is everyone else, and why can't people leave and enter into Mirage?
They've taken the city. They're controlling power from the Infinity Well. Once they tapped into the power of the Infinity Well, they became almost unstoppable.
Can we ask, do they know how we can get to the Infinity Well past them? Are there secrets that would be useful that he knows to help us fight these guys?
I relay that question.
Well, I mean, you made it here. I don't exactly understand the magic that you're using. The moment you walked through those doors, all of your magic should have been turned off. The only thing that is supposed to work in here is Chacon magic. But that's if you actually move through the doorway. You shouldn't be able to teleport here either. I don't know how you're here.
Draconic magic works differently.
We ran into a dragon that helped us get in here, unseen.
What kind of dragon? The other man says, a shadow dragon, you idiot.
I say a shadow dragon, you idiot.
No, I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Yes.
That must be it then. The shadow dragon's magic doesn't follow the regular laws. The problem you're going to have is tapping into the Infinity Well.
If we got you out of here somehow, would you be able to help us?
No.
Fine then.
Maybe you didn't hear me. There's at least 1,000 of them out there. They took control. Those blades, many of them use the blackburn, which causes instant decay.
Do you think the reason they took this city is because they come from the Infinity Well? I had a good thought.
I relay what my sister said. Is there a chance that because they come from the city that's why they're back here?
Don't know how that would work, but you see, the fundamental problem with all this, is the other one, is they shouldn't have any power. Do you understand? When a god dies, you no longer have your abilities granted to you by that god. So the black bun shouldn't work.
Well, Valis can't be dead.
No, it's why they have time walkers. It connects them to the time when he was alive.
Exactly.
The
They've
Time
transported
Walkers.
his power
you're
through
Connect him
the
to the time when they were alive.
Infinity Well.
He was alive.
I mean, I suppose it's possible. I don't understand time magic.
I know someone that does.
Who?
Dun dun. Am I able to? No, I can't.
The thing is, and I have to caution you about this, the Time Walker that's running things, he's the most powerful mage I've ever seen. I don't think, unless you're supremely powerful.
We are.
And arrogant.
Eelynn believes they're really powerful.
All I'm saying is that he took down 4 master arcanists by himself. I've never seen magic of the like.
Do you know if there's any way to take him down?
I'm sure there is, but I wouldn't know it.
We don't need to take them down, we need to get past them.
Yes, well, what's it like in the Infinity Well up there? I mean, are there guards? I'm sure there are guards, but ask him what we're about to walk into.
What's in the Infinity Well? Will it affect us anyway? Are there gods there?
I mean, it's pure unbridled magic. It's a force of primal arcane energy. I don't exactly know what you're asking.
How can it be used? Can we use it? Can it be harnessed?
Can anyone use it?
Anyone who can control arcane energy can use it technically, but I mean, they've tapped into it somehow. They won't let anyone near it.
Well, we can get by that.
I could see you might.
Well, good sir, if there's nothing else you can tell us, we're gonna make our way to the Infinity Well.
I mean, good luck.
And a secret for a secret. The people of Billet have nudist parties. Thank you. Thank you for your
I
information.
knew that.
Is there anything else you want me to ask before I leave this space? Anyone?
Is there anything we can do for them?
They said we couldn't get them. Is there anything we can do for you? I know we can't break you free. We can't help.
Is there nothing else they can tell us, given that he's an ancient researcher,
I asked
about Valis? No, I'm just asking if
If we
there's
come face
anything...
to face, what can we know, right?
Is there any other information about Valis that you could give us?
I mean, what do you want to know?
What do you want to know?
Weaknesses.
There you go.
Weaknesses
Of the followers?
of the god too.
I mean,
How did he die?
Good question. How did he die?
Great question.
well, I'm not sure, but my research seems to indicate that Declyn killed him.
And why is there no mention of him?
I think he's a part of history that time once forgotten.
Anything else, anyone?
Do you know how Declyn killed him?
You'd have to ask Declyn.
You have Magellan in your...
Do you have his number?
I think Teal could reach out to him. Are we done with our friends here?
Can you ask him
Yeah?
if he needed a place to hide for a night, or just a place that might be secluded? What would he suggest?
If we needed a place to hide or might be secluded, what would you suggest?
Most of the facilities here are empty now, including most of the dormitory wings. I mean, if you can't be seen and can't be detected, you could sleep in the middle of the street.
Literally anywhere.
But also, if he had like a room in this temple filled with magical, powerful weapons, where might that be? That might help us.
We can't
Just say,
We can't take.
You can't take touch anything.
right? Oh boy.
I think, unless anyone else has any questions,
Thanks, guys.
I want to.
That's not a bad question, because this is going to wear off sooner or later. And we could take a rest, wake up, and
It could be gone.
be seen.
True. Do you have a place where you keep your magic items? We may borrow.
So you know the answer to that. That would be in the arcane vault, and there's no way they're going to tell them how to get into the arcane vault.
Right. There's no way they're going to tell us how to get to the arcane vault.
But you know how to get there.
I've heard of it. I've never been to this temple.
Again, that's the vault part of Fort Knox. So, they'd rather die than tell you how to get in there.
A secret for a secret, I have to earn your trust.
They would rather die than tell you how to get into the arcane vault.
All right.
It didn't work.
Even if we would help them, they would rather die.
They'd rather-
Yeah. I mean,
okay, that's fine.
it's not.
That's clear.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I hope that my secret stays with you, but if you want to tell, you can also do that. Thank you for your help. I hope that may Valina help us, that we will give you your city back, and we will take down whoever this Valis person is, and we'll fix all that's been wronged. You have my word.
I hope so.
Do you want to relay this information to Felig?
I step out of the...
Do I have to?
Yes!
No.
We should also find out what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Yes, he's been oddly quiet. I hope he's still alive.
So you're hearing that.
Quite the opposite. I've been talking nonstop.
Have you? Have you really? I would have reacted to that. Yeah, he's been weirdly quiet, and I guess we should see
Well,
if...
have you been talking nonstop?
Have you?
Yes!
Oh,
He was talking
okay.
about his mother's
My
recipes.
mother's recipes for pie.
I think you put it in your pocket.
I definitely had taken it that way.
He's like getting stabbed, and you're like, oh, wait.
So weird. I haven't heard from him in a while. It's not in. Oh, right.
It's not in, it's crazy.
Felig, are you there?
Who is this?
So dumb.
Felig, it's Nyx.
I don't have caller ID.
All right, totally, we're getting a little off here, guys.
Yeah, what do you need?
Well, we just found out a lot of things. I'm assuming you haven't offed yourself or anyone else up there, so we're gonna come back up and talk to you.
You called to tell me that you're coming to talk to me?
Yes.
There's no
this isn't-
time.
There's
We're
no.
going
We
to the
have to.
Infinity
So
Well, right?
let's go. We have to get him first, so let's all get up there together. We'll be there in a minute. Just stay. Hey, Felig. Woo-hoo. Stay where you are, please.
Okay.
Just remember, we are exhausted after traveling for a full day. This is
Understood.
Okay,
Let's get
okay,
him and then we'll
I'm
rest.
just saying. Yep.
Should we
yep.
rest before we...
Yes, absolutely.
In that case, I might give you something, sister, to a choo-choo.
All right, so we go back up and hopefully find Felig where we left him.
Can we just assume we're staying in the dorms and settle in?
You can do what you guys can,
Dorms
whatever you
works
want
for
to do.
me.
You gotta tell me.
I want to talk for 10 minutes about whether or not we are.
Well, that's.
Thumbs up. Dorm's good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, good.
Don't
Yes.
be
The
surprised.
majority says yes.
Let us beware, though. Don't be surprised if, when we wake in the morning, we're back in this realm.
Yes.
We
I
need to
said,
prepare for that. Even if that doesn't happen, we need to prepare. So we should have regular watches, just like normal.
I would
Or
suggest.
not stay here.
No. Well.
Like a really nice hotel.
I have a map. I know where a really nice hotel is.
No, we have to stay here because we got in.
Yes.
So we must stay here. I would say we go into a room that has a door and we set a trap at that door and make sure that that trap will signify if anyone walks through.
Didn't
I can
you
do that.
mention that there is a potential for magic items to be taken from us if we were caught inside this place?
Well,
I believe that was at the door.
That was also when Arcanists were in charge of it.
so now that we've gotten in with the magical items, we can keep them.
Fortunately, the Arcanists that would take your magical items aren't in charge anymore. Instead, it's basically a death cult from
should
the
get out of-
beginning of time.
The Infinity Well is not in the temple.
No.
Oh, I thought
in
it
the-
was.
No. The Infinity
Oh,
Well
okay.
is at the center of the city.
All right, then yes, then let's
Nice
leave.
hotel? Nice hotel? Nice hotel?
Yes,
Hotel?
nice hotel.
Nice hotel.
All right. So you leave here and you get to a nice hotel closer to the Infinity Well, I would imagine?
Yes.
All right, so after another 40 minutes of walking and finding your way around again, what is a rather confusing city to navigate, you do make yourself to that fancy hotel. Do you fill in Felig on the information that you received?
Yes.
So now you know the name of the people that you are hunting. So it is the cult of Valis.
Where is this person that told you this stuff?
They're in the dungeons.
He was a historian.
And I try to leave.
He won't be able to see you. You will literally die if you try to communicate with him the way that we did.
The only way they were able to communicate with us was because she's got that fancy sword.
Why did you all wait to tell me this until now?
Because you decided.
We're actually actively telling you everything.
And the only way to find them that we know of is by going to the fancy hotel and then the Infinity Well.
Join us, and then tomorrow morning we'll go there.
None of you been paying attention to what I'm going through. Have none of you noticed how important this symbol is to me?
No, Felig, because you haven't told us anything.
You haven't been paying attention then. I have been telling you. I don't use my words, I use my actions.
That doesn't explain things. You can't get mad at us for you not explaining it to us.
This does not pass muster in any therapy session.
Well, why don't you try using your words also?
I just don't understand why. If you do understand the importance of this, you would not include me when it was pertinent.
We were getting the information, then once we got the information, we saw you and we gave it to you.
We were
We're not-
so far.
That was an
Hold
hour
on,
ago.
guys.
This
Listen,
was while you were going here.
It's important
I'm
to
sorry.
us too.
Felig, you're right. I'm sorry. We should have included you as soon as we knew information about that. I think we were a little confused. We didn't connect it the way that you would instantly. I'm sorry about that. In the future, we will try to do this. Can I also offer, in the moment, we might consider sticking together a little bit more often, in that if we had done that, we wouldn't have had this in the first place. Not to say that that's your fault, but it could be a compromise.
I hear you.
So let's get some rest so we can wake up tomorrow and go to this well. I'll give him hell too.
Thank you.
Okay,
Done deal.
so
Like sweating bullets.
Yeah. He didn't even try to hit you or stab you once.
you
So prepared.
you prepare for the night. You set up whatever Rube Goldberg device that you're going to.
I was going to do like a tripwire trap
Sure.
that has a little bell on top.
But
Sure.
if we're in the shadow realm,
Yeah,
how
will it be effective?
Well, if we are
hurt.
somehow not in the Shadow Realm
That's-
after that, then presumably the tripwire will not be as well. So,
There you go.
makes sense.
Thank you.
You all get some rest.
Attuned to our magical
Wait, yeah,
items.
because we switch stuff so we can attune to them. Is that okay?
Yes. So you can go ahead and switch up some things if you want to switch up some
I've been
things.
thinking this will help you to deal extra fire damage with any melee, and I don't even do melee.
Yes, and because I don't have a lot of spells, you get the pimp cane.
What?
Yes, sister.
Oh, it goes with your outfits.
Yes, but you can turn any spell that you cast, be careful, to frost damage.
I was a little chilly, and now I'm not.
So yes, okay. That's what we wanted to do.
I will go to Felig and say, thank you for this. Appreciate it.
I need to protect you. You need to be protected.
We need to protect each other.
With that in mind, is there anybody amongst this party who needs a good melee weapon?
What kind?
Well,
I'm just curious. I just want to know what kind of weapon.
Any kind.
Oh.
It's
The ring.
the ring, the never one.
The rock?
Shape of one.
Anybody but Tobiath.
Well, Tobiath's already got a weapon that's much more magical than any ring.
okay.
Do you have a magical weapon, Laric?
Me?
I mean,
I've got a bow, but I don't have a magical melee weapon.
but I mean, do you have a magical melee weapon?
Me?
Yeah.
No, but my broadsword is as powerful as this can be.
Broadsword.
And my longsword. This doesn't, the maul is the most powerful this can be, which is the exact same as my most powerful weapon that I carry.
How's that possible when that's a +1 weapon? The ring is a +1 weapon. Whatever it turns into is a +1 weapon. And your longsword is not a +1 weapon.
You're talking in speak as if I understand.
I know. So just so you know, anything that the ring turns into is both silver and magical +1. So your regular longsword is not silver nor magical +1. And there are creatures that you have to either have silver or magic to affect.
I've decided that.
As a careful consideration.
No take
I was just wondering if you got a magical weapon I wasn't aware of.
Careful consideration.
I was thinking of the party.
No,
it was
I
very
understand entirely.
Very
but I still think
thoughtful.
you're the best one to have a magical weapon.
But so what you're
'Cause I
saying
think
is
you're
it
almost
gives
the only
me
one who
one
doesn't have one.
more.
+1 to hit and damage.
Yes, +1 to hit and damage,
Okay, okay.
which was figured into, I believe, the sheet that I gave you, but maybe not. Because I think everybody
You never
else
gave
has a
me
magical
the
weapon at this
sheet.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. When you go to sleep tonight, Nyx, in your dream, a man comes to you and says, I call upon your service. You are to deliver a dream tonight to a client. Follow me. I will show you the anticipated recipient. And he holds out a hand. And he takes you into the dream, into the weave. You go much farther than you're capable of going. So this must be a special instance. You go into a person's dream. It is a garden full of serenity with a carved sarcophagus of a beautiful woman with flowing hair carved into the top of the sarcophagus. And the man is knelt with his forehead on the cold marble. And then the man, who you were expected you were going to step forward and deliver, but then the man looks at you and touches your lips with his finger and has you hide behind a pillar.
I hide.
I come bearing a message, he says to the man. I had the feeling I would find you here, he says. Yes, I'd imagine you would, Palace. It is the same place that I have been every night of every day since her passing. What message do you bring to me? It is from Jakar himself. What does the all-powerful Jakar want with me? It is a simple message. He wants you to vacate his city. He wants you to release the Infinity Well, or he will rain down upon you vengeance like you have never seen before. Will he now? Well, why don't you tell that wretched excuse for a god, Jakar, that if I even feel a wisp of his majesty's mighty energies within the flow of my presence,
I will bury his city in sand and kill every man, woman, and child that lives here. I will destroy the Infinity Well, and I will shatter this desert from sea to mountainside. Do not mess with me. You know damn well what I'm capable of. I've destroyed one city. I'll destroy another. I think the fit amongst the gods is that you will destroy everything. I will destroy what I need to destroy until I get the power to do what must be done. You are down a dangerous path. Down the only path you've left open to me. You and the gods, you and the people who sit upon your mighty thrones and look down upon the mortal man as if we're just chattel to be sacrificed upon the altar of your little game that you play. I get so tired of it. I get so tired of it. Every last ounce of your pompous, righteous, stupid game that you play with the souls of mankind. I get tired of the rules. I get tired of the insults that are laid upon every living creature. This is not a game that you play. None of this is game. But I'll turn it into one if I have to. I'll turn it into one if I have to. All right, Tiberius. I will deliver your message to Shea. You deliver it. And while you're at it, tell Declyn I'll come from him next. If you so desire. Always in your service. And he steps back. He goes like this to you. And you leave as he concentrates back on the tomb of the woman in front of him. And then you wake up.
Is everyone still asleep?
Yeah, unless, except for whoever was on watch. Who wants to have been on watch?
I was on watch, and I cast Fumble Proof on Laric as he sleeps.
Although I will give Declyn, make a perception check, because the way she woke up might be...
Natural 1.
You were dreaming of honey.
Honey is
I transform into a bear.
I'm a honey bear.
Yeah, have some cheese with it.
Oh, God.
Nix!
A man comes to you in your dream. I've got a lot of honey.
Nix, I wasn't doing anything weird.
What's
it wasn't
wrong?
weird.
What's wrong? Give me a second. Give me a second. I just have to process what I just saw.
I was just standing over him to cast Fumble Proof. You don't need to process that much. It's fine.
What?
Oh, not me.
I think this is big enough to wake everyone up for. Let's wake everyone up.
Well, but let's
Just
let
wake
them
everyone
sleep.
up.
But they need a rest.
They need to know.
Well, it is almost the end of our long rest now. Oh, good. Yes, sure. We'll wake them up.
I'm right underneath you. I actually heard that
For
discussion.
game purposes, I'll allow it.
Good morning.
There's something very important Nix needs to share. Nix?
No, she's very pale, but she's even paler than she normally is.
Are the eggs okay?
Sorry. I had a message to... His name is Tiberius,
Tiberius?
Yes, Tiberius, the man who is the archmage, the
Your
one...
Tiberius? Alonus? Tiberius Alonus?
Did I
I
recognize him?
Roll wisdom.
Oh. That's the critical fail. Did not.
Impressive.
Critically failed
I
the roll.
critically failed.
You two are very impressive on the rolls.
You only met him once, and at the time you were...
I don't know, he looks just like every other follower of Nigellin.
Okay.
They have long beards, big staves.
I know Tiberius well. I could describe in detail his looks.
Actually, you have a picture of him.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Hold on, let me scroll back. Scroll back. Hold on, I have it.
Yeah. Sorry, this is a bad one.
Sure does.
Yeah.
That's him. That's the man that we first spoke to.
And what?
I always hated him for a reason.
What happened?
But what? What about him?
You're saying this is the archmage that is here? That is leading this?
Yes, and leading the Amber Dagger cult or whatever. I assume he's the one who was assaulting this city and apparently did it to another city. Have you...
Well,
With the one we were in.
Tyr, right. Oh my God. It was him.
Do you know why?
Yes. He doesn't like the gods. He feels we're just pawns in their games. He wants to be respected. He wants to do away with the way things are. And I think it has to do with... I think he's teamed up with that other god. Valis. Who was also, eliminated and discarded and forgotten about. I think they're joining up together to really try to change the course of the world.
Which gods are they mad at?
All of them, but Jakar and Nigellin, mostly.
Where did this dream take place?
It was this beautiful area, and there was this sarcophagus with this woman, and she had long hair. Do I know the story of Jakar? I'm assuming I do.
You do. Roll history.
15.
Now, you're not absolutely certain because, this is not, but it looked like statues you've seen of Arlindus.
I'm not entirely sure of this, but it looked like Arlindus.
We all remember Arlindus.
Arlindus, the daughter of Nigellin.
Daughter of Nigellin.
She was beautiful. Someone I've never seen such beauty.
Ah, but she was dead.
And Nigellin let it happen.
I have a dark thought. What if gods such as Valis never died at all, but simply traveled in time to now?
Well, in that sense, none of us ever die.
Maybe he was supposed to die, but went he time traveled instead, is what you're saying.
At the moment of his death.
And now he's teamed up with...
To come.
So, again, make a history check if you want to know how Arlindus died.
Everyone or just...
No, we'll make a collective history check, and I'll allow, because I believe you have the highest history, Teal.
Yeah.
So,
I got a 20 though.
well,
So I don't need to roll though. I think.
Yeah, I don't think you
With
get to
advantage.
keep
All
rolling
right.
until you
Okay.
get-
Roll
But I
until
did,
someone's
I
got a
got a
good roll.
20.
It was in Shea's dice tray. So.
all right. I'll give it to you since you read it to us. So, and I'm assuming you're going to relay this information.
Yes.
Tell you a little story. So, let me explain to you about the Gods' War. The Gods' War was started by Melek. Now, you all know that there's this politics of the gods. And that was started by Melek at the very birth of man, by giving man the ability to have a soul and to recognize a god's existence by worshiping that god and then making them stronger. Now, the idea of the politics of the gods is that if every person, if you take all the people on Lear, and if there's 50% plus one worshiping a single god, that god, in essence, becomes the new master god like Lear is, who is currently at the center of the planet holding everything together. Melek has been plotting since the beginning of time to try and become that master god. The way that most of the gods have, throughout history, went about trying to become that and win the politics of the gods was to recruit more followers. The more followers you recruit, and the more powerful you become. Now, during the point of the Gods' War, Morghan was the most powerful god on the planet. He had the most followers at that time. However, Melek hatched a plot. What if, instead of trying to get more followers, you eliminate the followers of the other gods? If you create a war of such majesty and scope that you kill millions of other followers that aren't Malachian, he could win the Gods' War and win the politics of the gods that way. And that is what he set out to do. And that is why he teamed up with Felina, used her jealousy and anger toward Jor to spark that war, and then betrayed Felina by killing her own father. And in one night, they killed over 800,000 followers of Morghan. And throughout the war, got closer and closer to winning that prize, becoming the all-powerful one. Now, Shea, Declyn, and Jor combined forces to try and stop him. Their idea was to cast, because he was getting so close to achieving this goal, and they knew that if he did, it would be the end of the world as you know it. They decided to do one last attack on Melek's people. Melek had Malakon, which was this large continent, and they decided to basically go nuclear on the continent of Malakon by casting a spell called the World Rush. Now, the World Rush is the most powerful spell that has ever been cast in the history of Lear. It needed more magical energy than anything before it or after it. And the way that they did it was tapping into the power of Arlindis herself. Arlindis gave her life to fuel the World Rush and died as a result of it, because the World Rush got out of control and took more and more power from her until she was gone. It was so powerful that when it hit Malakon, it carved the continent in half. Instead of it just being in one city like they tried to do, it continued to expand until it took the continent out from one side to the other. And that's why there is now Fodor and Malakon. Fodor is a completely devastated land of magical disaster. It's the worst place on the planet. So as a result of that, 4 million followers of Melek died that day. And the Gods' War ended. But Arlindis was the price to be paid for that attack. she gave her life for the World Rush. So that is the history of how the Gods' War began and ended. Now, again, one of the reasons that people dislike Nigellin to a certain extent is that they asked Nigellin if the spell would work. Arlindis asked Nigellin if the spell would work. And Nigellin said, yes, the spell would work, but there will be a cost. And he knew what that cost would be. He knew that he would be sacrificing his daughter to do so.
But he didn't say it.
No, because if he had, it would have changed the future. So.
Are Nigellin and Jakar still?
Nigellin is neutral. He's friends with most of the other gods, but obviously he's complicated, right?
And Arlindis is the daughter of
Nigellin.
Nigellin.
Yes, his own daughter.
Was she a god as well?
Yes, in fact, she was a lesser god, which is, they're basically major gods, lesser gods, and demigods. You follow a demigod. Lesser is higher than a demigod. So she was a very powerful god.
Of discovery, says my note.
Of discovery, okay.
Does Valis play into any of this?
So Valis, you guys have never heard of before, and he has apparently lost the time.
Did Arlindis have someone that loved her, like among the gods?
Roll history, and you better roll super high.
Well, maybe someone. I mean.
Hey,
Tyll.
Again, I'll give it to you, Tyll, to roll super, super, super high to know something like that.
Super high, like 24?
That's pretty high. I mean, she, like many gods, in fact, I just told the story about how Jakar was born. She had a human mate.
Do we know who this human mate is?
Tiberius.
Could have been.
That'd be interesting.
Arlindis is the daughter of Nigellin, and Arlindis and Tyr is how Jakar was born.
No. That was another mortal. That was a mortal named Clarissa.
Oh.
Clarissa? I think.
Oh, okay,
Clarissa.
that's where all right, got it. Never
Tyll,
mind.
your former boss, how old would you say he is? About like 3,000, more or less?
He never told us his age.
Is that
Infinity,
possible?
like it's ancient.
So, Master Time Walkers get to the point where they practically don't age anymore. So
Even 3,000 years?
now, this wasn't 3,000 years ago. This was 1,000.
Oh, right, that's
God's
when
War was
man
1,000.
1,000. Yeah, there aren't too many human beings that are even Time Walkers don't usually live to be
So
Wait,
Valis
3,000.
was
But you said that
lost
he-
before
he-
that.
So Valis, again, if you look at the ages of Lear, which I don't know if I've ever given you guys, so Valis is over 3,000 years in the past, yes. But if the present day is 1147 New Reckoning, so he would, if he was Arlindis's lover, he would be somewhere around, 1,100, 1,200 years old.
So baby.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
Not impossible at all. Master Time Walkers, I believe, age 1 year for every 100.
And didn't you say he looked ancient?
No, that's his assistant.
Oh,
He
okay.
actually looked rather young. But
Got
again, Master Time Walkers' looks don't mean anything.
It's a function of their preference, I think.
Yeah. Now, if it's your Master Time Walker that's responsible for this, you didn't realize he was that powerful. In fact, Jontus Carius, I think he's thought to have been a more powerful Time Walker than your. But then again, it's pretty easy to act like you're not as powerful as you are.
Very true.
Do we?
I'm sure I could play tennis with a top tennis player, and he could find a way to lose. Yeah, probably.
Probably easily.
Do we think that we're being asked to go back and change things so that Arlindis doesn't die?
Well, it wasn't Tiberius that told us to go back.
I know,
So
but I know we have to, but do you think this, because he was the one that explained all this at the beginning, wasn't he?
Do you want to live under the all-powerful rule of a single deity? So maybe we killed Tiberius.
It does explain why they found you so quick.
And why he may have misled us on the missing second when you went to talk to him. He probably did that on purpose, right? We're assuming that he was misdirecting us.
Well, he sort of sent us on this whole
But he did do
mission
that
to
too.
begin with.
So we're serving some greater purpose for his ends.
Yeah, but within one day of sending him on that mission, assassins showed up and tried to kill him.
tried to
In
kill
fact,
me.
moments after you told him about that second, people showed up to try and kill you guys at the square.
So he didn't care about sharing information. He was intending us to be dead.
It could be that, we presented that to him, so it's not like
He gave it to us.
yeah. It's hard to say.
What else do you know of him? Where does he live? Is there anyone still alive he cares about? What
lives-
leverage do we have?
We didn't have a personal relationship. He was my boss, and he was an awful one at that.
Did he have any pictures on his desk, like Bert's best dad?
Does he
Mom?
like chocolates?
Hmm?
Does he like chocolate?
Probably yes.
I say we
Most
go to the
people do.
well and figure out what we need to do there. Because right now we're all just hypothesizing. We have information, which is great, but we need to figure out what we exactly. I mean, it was Tiberius that came to you in your dream?
No.
He said no.
Palace came to you in your dream.
I didn't say that.
No, she didn't say that.
You should. Who was it that came to you in your dream? Who asked you?
I said I saw a dream, and it was Tiberius there. And he was talking about this. I've told you everything I know.
But why did they ask you? Why did they show you this dream? What do they want us to do?
Well, I think we're being armed with knowledge, and it's up to us to figure out what we're going to do next.
To the well.
I don't see how this. I mean, it is
Everyone
great that we
geared
know
up.
more, but
Does anyone have use of a goblet that you can turn any liquid into oil? I already throw oil a lot.
I would like to reach out and just touch something in the room to see if we are, what realm we are
Good
in.
idea.
Well, touching something in the room wouldn't, but there is fruit in a basket if you want to try it.
Here, let's see if this works. And I smack him on the head with this goblet.
But it would because
Well, yes,
it's
it
also
hurts
a-
it.
You did
That
feel
wasn't
that.
proof.
Great. Well, it's proof of the fact that this goblet works.
It would have
Never mind.
anyway.
Yeah, sure. No,
All
now I
right,
get it.
reach out
now
for
I
some
get it.
fruit.
All right. Well, again, you always feel like you can touch it. Do you,
See if
But
it's
see if it makes you
try
less
to-
hungry.
No, it has no taste, and it doesn't seem to.
We're still in the shadow.
Well, then that's good.
So the
That's
shadow
good.
still works.
I don't want them to see us.
Let's go to the well.
Good.
I have a feeling that the Shadow Dragon's magic will work until we reach that well.
And then you think it'll stop when we get to the well.
Probably when we go through it, and whatever happens then.
I mean, we
Less
know that
cold
time
doesn't
magic.
require attunement. Just a goblet full of oil. No, I'll take more.
We know that time magic interferes with whatever is currently affecting us. So, going back in time, it could be that.
And
it will
before we go, Teal, this Master Time Walker, what's the worst thing he could do to us?
Well,
I mean, we get stuck in a different time. I mean, besides kill us, could we get stuck in a different timeline?
The Infinity Well is not a predictable entity. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know that we can know.
We
It's-
could become all
So,
powerful.
I will say this. If Tiberius was the human mate of our Lindis, if he's a master time walker, if he is the one responsible for pulling time out of the time stream itself, took over this city, and is tapped into the Infinity Well, he is the most powerful mage that has ever lived.
So easy.
Which means he is capable of casting 9th level spells, which means that he is well above a 4th level party's
Sure, but
ability
Hey, let's not party shame here,
Nope.
okay?
But I'm just saying that he would literally, you're describing the most powerful mage in
What's
history.
the worst that could happen? He could erase us from existence.
I have a
completely.
thought before we leave this temple that we maybe mine for knowledge first before we go in blind.
Where?
There's a large library here of information. I don't know, I just feel as though we're going in blind and unprepared.
It does seem like we know quite a bit more than we did
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah. But perhaps not enough. We need to know how to
Use the
the well.
Right.
How much time, relatively speaking, do we have?
11 days.
Well, how about we do a scout of the well itself? Because we keep talking about this well.
Do you fill them in on the threat that was made?
Oh, that he's gonna destroy everyone?
It seems pretty bad, but not really as bad
he
as it
said-
possibly could be.
What he
so-
said if
She
Jakar,
said she told us everything.
What? Sorry?
what he said if Jakar showed up?
That he'll destroy everything?
Did you let them know?
So there's one more thing.
And before you tell them, Jakar is known as having an extremely bad temper. Every time you tell him what to do, he defies it. I'm just saying this. He's not a god who. You read the story. He killed his own grandfather
negotiate.
despite
Here's the thing. I don't know if we have 11 days worth of time. In fact, I think we have very little time because he made a threat. He said that if Jakar enters the fight, which I'm sure he will after what happened here, that he will destroy everything and everyone. So,
Do you tell them how?
I tried to write it down as
Destroying
fast
the
as
Infinity
possible.
Well.
Destroying the Infinity Well.
Now this is technically daytime now. So where are you?
At the.
You're under the sand.
Oh, yeah.
So if he destroys the Infinity Well,
We'll
then
never
what happens?
Buried.
City will never rise
never
again,
rise.
right?
Well,
We'll
no.
be buried in sand.
Yeah, the entire city would be buried under millions of tons of sand instantly.
And that would mean we would suffocate and die.
Well,
And so would,
it would just appear that we're suffocating and
500,000
die
people.
because we can't interact with physical things that come in
right,
contact.
yeah.
Travis, is Tiberius controlling the Infinity Well?
Well, that's, I mean,
We don't
again,
know that.
we're
In theory.
assuming that he's the big bad. The forces that have taken control of the city have tapped into the well and are controlling the well. That's most likely how they took control of the city. They supercharged themselves, in other words.
I agree with your theory then. I feel like if we go to the well, our veil will be
I
dropped.
think we have to go to the
Once-
well. I don't know how else we can prepare. I was hoping we had more time. But it seems like we're fresh out.
What were you saying, Declyn?
Once we go through it, but I think when we get there, we'll still be under the veil
Well, we'll
Well, that's
see.
till we
we'll
enter.
see.
Should we get there and just investigate what's around there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we in agreement of that?
I agree.
You know, if you want to learn more about something, I say look at it.
That's right, sister.
I would have liked to have seen this city when it's not so depressing.
Same sin.
Same sense.
It's so
Okay,
pretty.
if we live,
We'll come back.
party,
Vacation, garage vacation.
That we
Take it,
need,
party.
that if we live,
Okay, so we go to the well?
Well,
I'm in.
Well,
I'm in. Well, should we go
Well,
to the well?
Well,
before as we're going, because I've attuned to the amulet of scales, I now have red and golden scales going down the back of my neck along
That's
my spine. I sort of like lean in and was like, okay, is this noticeable? Can people see this? I don't.
Oh, I noticed right away, Tia. You're looking very masculine these days.
so on the way to the well,
what a compliment.
I assume the well is a bit of a trek.
No, we're right by
No,
it.
no,
we
you're,
stayed in the
you're,
hotel
you're
right
about
here.
15
Right
minutes.
there.
You're about 15-minute walk.
Yeah, we're right by
You
it.
can see it from the penthouse.
Right.
Did you stay at the penthouse?
We stayed at Hotel Infinity. Well.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Welcome to the Infinity Well, everybody.
Friendly and
Just
inviting.
go.
Love it.
Very cool.
I like
Looks
what
like
you've done.
just the kind of thing you want to just walk right into.
Walk in.
Everything will be
Sure.
fine.
Eelynn, you want to walk in there?
I'm not afraid. I see a hint of pink.
So you make your way about 15 minutes. The closer you get there, the more troops that you see that are the cult of Valis.
Belisarian.
Belisarian. That also will explain why you did not know what language they were speaking. Because they're speaking a long dead language that you don't even know exists.
Travis, I do have a question, if I
Yes.
could. So before, when we saw some of these members, my target of rage was only affected by one of the 4.
Yes.
So there are people among them that are not followers of this particular
So
god?
your target of vengeance, because of the nature of how you took
Yeah.
you chose to take revenge upon those with that symbol.
With the symbol.
So what I would posture is that symbol is a ranking symbol of some kind. So that, for example, you fought people like this in the first battle that we ever fought in the campaign. Your radar didn't go off then. None of them must have had a rank that was high enough to have the symbol be on their arm.
Less, say less.
Yeah. Now that has changed.
So within the time of us walking, Nyx would have given this back to you. You need that more than I do. And
You want something?
Eelynn just scaredly takes the earring back.
And as you make your way in there, your target of vengeance is being triggered on a fairly regular basis now.
And I am holding Chance very close and stroking his little head.
And yeah.
So, as you can see, this is quite an impressive sight. It is a swirl, a maelstrom of sorts, of complete and utter power and unbridled arcane energy. It is loud here, but only from the crackle of lightning. The swirl of the energy itself makes almost no noise.
Is there a temperature shift or anything like that?
Again, I think the lightning itself heats the area up a little bit more, but it seems like the lightning is almost a side effect of the actual phenomenon. That it's charging the air so much that it's causing electricity to be discharged. There are a couple hundred troops here. Looks that there are pillars around the. In fact, if we bring the camera up just slightly, you will see that there are pillars around the effect. There we go.
Wow.
There are 4 pillars.
That's super cool.
Now, those 4 pillars have etched into them, and it looks like this is recent, magical symbols that seem to be diverting some of the power that is flowing upward into the sigils on the 4 pillars. And there is a variety of what would be best described by modern eyes as technical equipment that is charging itself with the power that is being siphoned out of the Infinity Well. Now, of course, the followers of Declyn also are mechancers and followers of science, so that would look natural to your eyes, but not to everyone else's, because it seems like it would be anachronistic, kind of out of time to a certain extent, because it feels more like modern scientific equipment than magical equipment. But they are definitely siphoning that energy out of the well. The troops suddenly start kind of snapping to attention. And walking up the pathway, you see a robed figure with a cloak and a hood that is definitely the one in charge, as people seem both honored to be there and frightened of his presence. He's quietly talks to a couple lieutenants that bark orders back and forth in this unknown language. And it seems like they are preparing for something.
If we can, get a closer look at him to make sure that it is him. But we shouldn't assume that he won't be able to see through us.
Do you understand what's going on with the siphoning?
Could I make an Arcana check or something like that? 18.
I mean, outside of the fact that it's taking the power out of the well, you've not really seen equipment like this before, but you're not a mechamancer. So this is kind of the wrong field if that's mechamancer style stuff. Obviously, whoever, again, I'm not willing to concede yet who this is, but whoever's doing this has maybe a couple time walkers and a couple mechamancers and a few other high-powered people within the Nigellin church that are also helping him do this, because there's no way he's both a time walker and a mechamancer and all these other things. So, and they did mention that, if there are 20 of these cages down there, that's 27th level spells that were cast. So there's got to be some other powerful mages in cahoots.
So you don't recognize any of the symbols?
I don't know exactly the purpose of it, but they're definitely siphoning the power, like I said. It can't be good. I don't recognize the specific machinery or the exact purpose, no.
I do tend to wonder, since you worship the god of knowledge and all, why he's chosen to be very specific about what kind of knowledge goes out. It's interesting, isn't it? It's very secretive for the god of knowledge.
I agree.
Is it making you question anything?
I'm questioning a lot of things lately. So, yeah, I don't have the answer.
You know a thing or
that.
two about secrets. Why do you keep them?
Well, I worship a god that has to do with secrets. I'm pretty forthright with that.
So you're honest about your secrets, is what
So
you're
makes
saying.
it different.
Every now and then.
Noted.
Just saying, I don't know how I feel about Nigellin at the moment.
Maybe this is my own bias, but I don't think that this is Nigellin's doing. This is people who are, in my opinion, perverting what Nigellin stands for. This is not just the collection of knowledge. This is the application of time energy to do something unnatural. I believe that Valis, that they're combining Valis, this god of decay, with time magic. I think that the whole in time is the time stream itself decaying. That is not Nigellin's doing.
Well, we can philosophize about it after we capture the bad guy, which is that guy right there. And what I would like to do, I'm gonna flip a coin and maybe try and cast a mage hand that is gonna try and go in between the mechanical item that is having energy siphoned into it and the stream itself, just to poke it.
Sure. All right, well, flip the coin.
All right.
Mage hand, or what's the other one?
We want to roll above. We want to roll. Oh wait, 1 through 10. It's a 9. We cast mage hand, just like we always knew we would. And I'm just gonna make a very fabulous gold-gloved hand that's just gonna try and block the power that is going into this item.
Sure. So you have the mage hand go and try and block that arcane energy, and the mage hand is instantly dissipated and disintegrated, and the spell is over, and you feel the effect of almost as if you've gotten an electrostatic shock.
I kind of like it. Let me try that again.
Okay. Yikes.
I shoot a firebolt at it.
You shoot a firebolt at it?
Oh, sorry. I prestidigitate.
So when the firebolt goes into the energy, it like supercharges, and for a moment there's an effect almost like a flamethrower, like that firebolt becomes much larger and more powerful, and again, out.
Does anyone else seem to notice this, or just us?
Just you.
Oh, that was going to be my comment, is these spells are having an effect.
Does
But
anyone
just
else
like
wipe the sweat from their
I definitely
Is it
did.
just me?
Right, I was going to say she's
All right.
interacting with the real world, but is she?
She doesn't seem to be functionally interacting with the real
But
world.
does that mean that the infinity well transposes or transcends these different planes? Because it's interacting with us.
Something this powerful. If we are powerful enough to be in this plane, surely it is and transcends all of them.
And the reason I'm asking that is, if that's the case and it's fully functional, might it be possible for us to utilize it undetected and go where we need to go if it's functioning with us on a different plane and just sidestep this entirely?
It seems like a question for the timey-wimey chat.
You people understand, this is not time magic specifically that we're dealing with. I don't have expertise in
But
this.
us going back in time, if that's
Yes.
what we're talking about, is
Yes.
because I'd love to, but I don't think I can make us go back 1,000 years.
Wasn't it a shadow dragon that told us this was one of the 3 places to affect time?
Wasn't the Shadow Dragon that told us, but yes, this is one of the 3
Someone?
places. Yes.
It was John Tisvakar.
John Tisvakar.
That guy?
Yes. No, we are
not Tiberius.
We can, John Tisvakarius.
Yeah, different.
Yeah, different person.
Because I thought she was asking, is it that guy?
No. We can use this. Yes, I believe so. I think I can do this, but we need to get to it.
Okay.
First.
And it looks like we can. It looks like they don't know we're here, right? We can get in there before we're detected.
Oh, hold on. Let's wait until he takes that hood off. Don't we want to see?
I do want to see to make sure we know who we're dealing with.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, do you guys climb up and get closer? Because he's kind of off in distance right now.
You say his head is covered with the hood. Is that like draped down real low?
It's just like you put on the hood.
I mean, do you want me to model it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
It's like the Emperor.
Yeah,
Oh, like
I mean,
that?
yeah, it's kinda like that.
Like Lexus or like Becca's?
Oh,
Okay.
like we got
Yeah.
that fashion hood?
More like
Yeah.
Becca's, actually. 'Cause
Hello.
More like Becca?
Owl?
You make that look good there, Becca.
So I should be able to determine who this person is if I know the person by getting within, at least this far away to
Yes.
about 10
People
feet
have
from
a
viewers at home.
specific gait. I feel like I can name a walk from 100 feet away.
Yeah.
And if he spoke, then you probably would.
Yes.
I would like to study this person getting closer and closer until I have a strong sense of whether or not I know who this person is.
Could we maybe put them in her cloak and take them to a safer place to look at them?
Them being the
We can't interact with them.
no.
Yes.
yeah.
The most
Have
powerful
we tried the
mage.
cloak?
Let's put them in your cloak. Just
I don't
they won't
want
see
to
that coming.
And if they
carry
never
these
come out, we end the whole thing.
poultice in this cloak. There's dragon eggs in there. Oh, I guess they can't interact with them. I would rather just see who he is.
I would like to get closer to try and see who this person is.
Does everybody en masse
Yes.
go up with him?
I want to just watch.
Spread out.
I'm gonna watch to make sure that no one. Teal, put your earring on, and I'm gonna just keep watch in case I see anyone start to
So
notice
when you
anything.
say keep watch, what I'm looking for, are you within 20 feet, 40 feet, 80 feet? How close are you to each other?
I'm gonna stay 60 feet away and creep closer to one of those pillars.
Okay, so what I'm asking, so then you are climbing up, going onto the platform itself where where all the machinery and the magic is.
And
'Cause
that's not where
you're
the-
not that yet.
that's
Well,
not
that
where
is
the
where
hooded
they
guy
are.
is?
But I'm just saying. So I'm just making sure you guys are up there. Okay.
I feel like we should.
I'm trying to make sure I'm getting your guys' information.
We surround and then go up at different places so we don't all get seen if for some reason our magic dissipates.
You can technically, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Just to mention, number one, how far away does your scan stick have to be to work?
To scan it? Very close.
Very close. So you couldn't like do it from a distance and go, oh yeah, that's what's his name. Okay. Then the
And
other
also,
thing
I
is,
can, with my eyes, determine if it's the same person because I've seen
right,
it
but
many
if
times.
he had a cloak over his face and you scanned him with the scan, but that's fine. The other question is, we are going up to a very powerful mage next to an enormous source of magical power that he happens to be siphoning off, making him godlike in his extraordinary power. That's all.
With hundreds
All
of
I meant to
followers
say was,
around
I didn't
him.
say go right up to him and say, peekaboo, I see you. I was just saying, can we discern what is under that mask? And if not, then we try to get into the Nexus somehow.
Can I just say the furthest back, just in case, to keep watch?
I know you're saying that. I'm trying to figure out where
Where?
you're saying you are.
So you're saying everyone is up on top of the...
So there is one major pathway that leads you up onto the Infinity Well. Are you within the area of the Infinity Well, or are you way back from that? Because keep in mind, you are a hand-to-hand combatant. So
If anyone needs to be there, it's me. Yeah.
So you have to do a lot of. If you're 60 feet away, that's technically 2 rounds of running.
Well, I'm by the.
one round if you run.
By the edge of the well, then. So yes, I'm up there, but I'm
Okay,
the
so
first
that's
back.
what I'm
Like
asking.
the image we see, is there like one natural rock incline and then there's rocks you can climb up
Yes.
instead?
So there is one natural rock incline. The rest would be very. You can make a climb.
That sounds fun.
And especially if you want to use that.
Oh, I will be wrist wiring.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get up in other ways. It's just there's one easy path.
Like I want to be there, but I want to be hidden.
Yeah. This is a natural. So the Infinity Well is a natural phenomenon that was discovered. The city was built around the Infinity Well. So much of what's there is natural. This natural rock and area that the Infinity Well was growing out of. Think like a hot springs of magic.
Yeah. Okay.
I can carry 2 with me on this wrist wire. Should we go straight to the top, where that will be above their heads?
Oh,
Take
you want
it.
to go to
I
the
don't
top of that
understand.
sucker?
So
Well, it's in the middle, right? So we could. They're kind of on the ground on the rock.
I would
Yeah, yeah.
caution to that because you might get sucked in.
You also might get hit by lightning, which is a more frightening thing.
Yeah, and we saw what happened to the spells.
Well, I'm more powerful than a mage hand.
My question is, none of us really know how to enter the time stream at this point. I was hoping to garner that information from the library, but what would you suggest?
should we go back to the library?
No,
Because
no.
I don't think that's.
It's clearly
Right.
we don't have time.
Okay, let's just
so-
see if the hooded guy drops his hood and there's some kind of conversation and we can listen.
All right. So you've made your way in a variety of different ways
Yes.
to the lip of the Infinity Well, or at least within 15 feet of the lip of the Infinity Well. How close are you trying to get to this person who's in charge?
I'm constantly checking as I approach to see if I can recognize. If I can't, I would get up to 10 feet from this person. But I wouldn't go closer than that.
Okay.
I wouldn't get right up to his face.
Sure.
Look at him
Yeah.
calculating.
Sure.
He's putting all the pieces.
10 feet
So-
is clears.
Before we roll for initiative, I want to.
So you approach, and it's a little kind of weird game of cat and mouse because you're trying to angle yourself, and he of course is not being helpful. Turning this way and so forth, and you can see as you're trying to and you're not exactly Sally Serpentine. You're kind of looking quite awkward as you try to make your way around to get up to him. And so you get about 10 feet away from him, and he is giving some instructions to one of them in the tongue that you do not recognize. And then he said, the fly in the ointment has arrived. He said, and he turns around and he goes, Tyll, didn't I tell you not to ask help from a fellow Time Walker? How many cities are you going to destroy? He says, looking at you. And you can see that's Tiberius. You're Tiberius.
What?
I know.
You wouldn't tell us for sure.
And as he raises a hand, and you start to feel the time around you start to collapse on itself and crush you with the infinite weight of the universe, a thunderclap hits of such magnitude and proportion that everyone, including all of you, fall to the ground by its... The only one that doesn't hit the ground is Tiberius. And you hear a voice that says, "You have sullied my city." And we're going to find out where that voice came from next week.
It was Declyn.
It's probably Becca. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably, yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's getting closer and closer. Ring that bell. Make a comment. The comments mean all the difference in the world to us. And give a like. And we will see you next time on Dungeon Call. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.